Guilford County Division of Public Health is now offering the Pfizer booster to teens ages 16 and 17. Boosters are available for teens in that age range if they received their second dose of the vaccine 6 months ago. Parent consent is required. Booster doses will be available tomorrow at Dudley High School from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Schedule your appointment by calling this number, 336-641-7944, or you can visit the health department's website.
Wake Forest University will require students and faculty to have a COVID vaccine booster show for the spring of 2022. Faculty and students will be required to show proof of their booster or show they have an exemption. Anyone not exempt will have to show proof by January 7th. For anyone not eligible for the booster, because of the 6-month wait period between doses, they will receive a 2-week grace period after they are eligible.
Parts of Pilot Mountain reopen tomorrow after being shut down for 2 weeks because of a massive fire. Forestry officials say a campfire lit in an unauthorized area ignited the fire that burned more than 1,000 acres on the mountain. Investigators are working to find out who's responsible. While it was upsetting to see a North Carolina landmark go through devastation like that, park officials say the landscape will recover.
Fire is a pretty natural part of this landscape. And so while this was clearly not the conditions that we would have chosen to necessarily have the mountain be on fire, that the processes that were occurring during this fire were pretty natural.
Park rangers will open the Yadkin River section of the state park tomorrow. The mountain section will remain closed for repairs.
Given the dry conditions, a burn ban remains in place for the vast majority of Triad counties. The Forest Service has lifted the ban in most counties south and east of here. The entire state had been under a burn ban for a couple of weeks because of the conditions and the wildfires at both Pilot and Sourtown Mountains. But the ban remains in place in all Triad counties except Montgomery.
Well, let's talk about a rain chance, albeit slight. We still do have a chance of a shower tomorrow, and we're watching again as we head into next week to see if we can see any other days with that. Temperatures right where they should be. Mid-50s, low to mid-50s. That's normal for us, and that's where we are. 53 in Lexington, 55 in Greensboro. There's the low to mid-50s. Greensville, Double Nichols as well. Walnut Cove 53, Mount Airy 50, Galax 54. Everybody's pretty much on the same page. We will see mostly cloudy skies heading into the evening. It looks like that isolated shower, though, a possibility. Now remember, we talked about this yesterday, the chance tomorrow of a scattered shower. Would there be a thunderstorm with it? Maybe not as quite as likely as yesterday when we were looking at it, but still temperatures are really warm. Your Saturday high temperature going up to 70 degrees. Couple of showers here or there, more sprinkles than anything, but you have that risk heading into the evening tonight. You go out to a wider shot, you can see this is kind of, even though it's widespread, it's just not all that heavy. Now the Roanoke area getting some heavier rain, and to the south a little bit more in the eastern half of South Carolina, but we're kind of sandwiched between all of that. The warm air will start to move in. We'll see that push in from the south and west with that warm front, and then we watch for that cold front. Now you're seeing Saturday afternoon into Saturday evening. That's when that front will move by, and we'll see markedly cooler air moving in as we head into your Sunday and Monday. We'll take a look at our 7-day in just a few minutes.
Former Senate Majority Leader Bob Dole was honored today in a funeral at the National Cathedral. Dole served our nation in World War II, where he was badly injured by a blast. Following his service in the war, he went on to serve in Congress for more than 30 years in both the House and Senate. President Joe Biden and other national leaders remembered the late senator along with the Dole family. His daughter remembered the close relationship she had with her dad.
The last years have been such a gift to me. I feel so fortunate I was able to spend hundreds of hours with my dad and talk to him almost every single night on the phone. We talked about everything under the sun.
Dole's casket was transferred to the National World War II Memorial on the National Lawn for a public ceremony honoring his life and service. His casket will be transferred to Kansas, where he was born, for a ceremony in his hometown, and then to lie in state in the Kansas state capitol.
The holidays can be difficult for people who have experienced the death of a loved one. Grief comes in many forms, but people are often unsure of how to navigate it. The CDC recently shared that COVID-19 killed more people in 2021 than in 2020. This means many will spend the holiday season grieving a loved one for the first time. Therapist Jaron Doby with Novant Health says it's important to note that addressing grief is not something that is one size fits all. If you are struggling, it's important to set realistic expectations of yourself.
During this time of year, what is it that you are not ready for? Be able to also make sure that you identify and utilize supports. It's so important during this time of year, whether that is family, whether that is friends, colleagues, anybody that you know that is able to offer any kind of support in any way in order to be able to help you, whether that is with preparation for the holidays or actively making sure that you get through it.
Toby says a lot of times folks can get lost in comparison, and it's important to recognize that you're on your own timeline when it comes to grief. Just take it one day at a time.
This is the time of year that pretty much does promote cheer, togetherness, and support. But we just need to make sure that even outside of the holidays, that we continue to bond together, be there for one another, make sure that we're paying attention to each other and openly communicating or even checking on each other to make sure that there aren't any needs that need to be met.
As we continue into the holiday season and beyond, Doby says to pay attention to overall behavioral or emotional changes. Any changes in appetite or weight, look out for changes in sleep patterns or communication. Keep an eye on loss of pleasure in doing things you used to enjoy.
It's interesting to me that sometimes depression can sneak up on someone, like they may not even know that they're depressed. And to me, I think if you've never felt that, you can't, that doesn't make sense to you, know? So you have to watch your loved ones as well to help them to notice some of those signs.
I agree with that. I'm sure we know a lot of people who lost someone in the last year and a half. Some of us have probably lost family members and friends as well. So if you know that about someone, just kind of check in on them, maybe invite them over to watch a movie, have dinner, but just let them know that you're there for them.
Yeah, I mean, the holidays are hard for me anyway, living so far away from my close family, and my family is a very tight-knit family. So I can't even imagine what it would be like to have lost someone and going through this season alone. It's got to be so hard, but just stay strong and yeah, like you said, check in on those people. They need some help.
In addition to staying strong, like if you are someone that might be struggling, you're like, I just don't feel like I usually do around these times, like don't ignore those feelings. Like reach out to a friend, talk to them. It just really feels good to get it off your chest.
True, and the whole stigma, that's gone.
Yeah, it's out the door.
If there's not here anymore, reach out to someone and say, you know what, I'm not feeling right, and I need somebody to talk to, and that's all it takes. Social interaction is a big key to overcoming depression.
Absolutely. We're in this together.
That's exactly right. Very good.
We'll be right back.
Nearly 2,000 students walked across the stage this morning, graduating from the University of North Carolina, Greensboro. Among those Spartans, a husband and wife who battled for years to finally achieve their dreams.
As a crowd cheers on UNC Greensboro graduates, two Spartans walked together as more than just classmates, but husband and wife.
I'm so proud of you.
I'm proud of you. We did it.
Yeah, we did it.
We did it.
Come on.
There you go.
Eric and Rhonda Hodges finally winning a battle fought for decades. College degrees put on hold to raise a family and take care of loved ones. But when they became empty nesters, it was time to fight on.
I think we've been crying. We've already been crying for like a month, just as it's coming into view. It feels like serendipity. It just feels like the moon and the stars align.
Their story beginning when they were just babies, family, friends, and neighbors. In 1995, they got married. Fast forward to 2021, they earned Bachelor of Liberal Studies degrees together. Eric even taking on a full load of classes this semester to make it happen.
And I told him, I said, I'm going to wait for you and, grab your hand so we can walk off together. It's just magical. It really is.
A fairy tale ending to a long and hard-fought journey.
We were counting how many people in our family have degrees, and we lost count. And we wanted to be a part of that. And now we are.
Yes, we are.
Yep.
Somebody is
Y'all.
cutting some onions up in
Yeah.
this.
I mean, when I was
so
talking to them, I just kept saying, "Oh my gosh, y'all are so cute." I know that they're probably like this girl, but I was tearing up with them because it was so special to see. They literally grew up together as friends. They ended up getting married, and then they made a dream come true by
Yes.
graduating from college together. They held hands.
It looked like was she tearing up when you were interviewing? Yes.
Yes, they both were the whole time, and I was just like, y'all, you're killing me. I loved it.
Adorable. And the fact, that you're right. The shot for that one was when she stopped and waited for it. That was adorable.
That was like the money shot right there. I mean, they are like the definition of love and support, because think about a lot of people who do go back to school later in life. They're working, they have kids. To know that they had each other to support, that had to be amazing.
Yeah, I don't know if y'all caught this part, but when they were trying to figure out graduation requirements and everything, she had 3 classes left and he had 5. So he decided to go ahead and take all 5 so they could graduate together. And they both have full-time jobs.
Oh my goodness.
And we're taking full load courses.
Wow. The fact that they knew each other at such a young age,
Yes, that never happens.
that is like a fairy tale. That's amazing.
I see a Lifetime movie
Yeah.
coming up. That's what I see about them. That would
Yes.
be perfect, wouldn't it?
It would.
Well,
I'd watch it.
Congrats to them and congrats to all the other grads at UNCG today.
And there are a lot of events that are happening at the Coliseum this weekend that we need to tell you about, because there's going to be a lot of traffic delays. Whether you're headed to the Coliseum for one of the events or just driving in that area, you'll want to factor in some extra time for traffic. More than 15,000 people are expected to attend events at the Coliseum, which will clog the roadways and the highways. It'll be so busy that the Coliseum and traffic officials advise people to arrive at least 1 hour before their event and consider carpooling. Greensboro police and Coliseum workers will be around to conduct traffic at major intersections.
You know, with our forecast, as we look at the radar, we've talked about the chance of a scattered shower or two. Had some of that today. You can see most of it southern half of the viewing area, but from Greensboro and Winston south all the way toward Montgomery County, you see that one line of showers, and that was working its way through anywhere from about 2 o'clock until now. And then even if we go out to a wider shot, there's still more instability. The front is way back to our west. It will get here probably tomorrow afternoon. That's the time period we look for that. Here's what it looks like graphically here. Warm, windy conditions heading into your Saturday with the approach of that cold front. Now I stopped it here at about 3:50 in the afternoon tomorrow. So again, by probably 5 and into 6 or 7 or 8, that front will be moving by. That's when we have the greatest chance of a heavier shower or two. As the front clears us, a whole different scenario. We'll go from the low 70s tomorrow to highs probably only in the 50s, and that colder air, courtesy of that high pressure, really starts to move in. Here's what it looks like with our 7-day forecast. There's the 70-degree high tomorrow. Also, can't rule out a storm. I know unusual this time of the year, but a storm is possible. That's a 60% chance of rain. Clear and chilly for Sunday with a high of 51. And then next week, look at that, all sunshine and a gradual warming trend. Mid-50s Monday, low to mid-60s Tuesday, Wednesday, all those lows to that point in the 30s except for that 29 Monday morning. Then 67 and 68 beautiful days on Thursday and Friday with plenty of sunshine and warmer lows at 44 and 50 for Thursday and Friday morning. So, you know, we wait and wait for this every year. It is truly a national institution. We are talking about Girl Scout cookies. I spoke with Jennifer Wilcox, the CEO of Girl Scouts Carolinas Peaks to Piedmont, and Brownie 8-year-old Amelia Gert about the cookie sales. And there's a new cookie this year. So let's start out with this. I don't think a lot of people realize that you can actually go online and order cookies a lot earlier than when the Girl Scouts are delivering them.
People can begin to order from our girls starting the 21st of December. So online orders aren't quite ready. Girls are still getting into our cookie order management system, and they are still setting up their sales profiles, getting ready to, implement their marketing strategies. But starting the 21st of December, our girls will be ready to begin to take those orders.
So Amelia, tell me, what is cool about being a Girl Scout?
You just spend time with your Girl Scout sisters, and it's really fun. You do all sorts of amazing things. For cookie sales, you learn money management and customer service. It's fun and good exercise, and also sometimes at our house there are boxes left over, and then my family buys them. It's fun and tasty.
So new cookie flavor is out, and what I want to know is it must be somewhat of a lengthy process to get a new cookie flavor passed in the Girl Scout world.
It takes anywhere, Eric, from 2 to 3 years for the bakers to, assess the market, understand what the consumer trends are in the food retail industry, to talk with the councils, to do focus groups, and then to decide not only on the recipe and the flavor profile of a particular cookie, but also to decide on its name and its brand and all of those pieces and parts of moving a new cookie to market that nobody probably really ever thinks about.
Hey guys, congratulations. Can't wait to try the new flavor. Thanks for being with us today. And we are going to try it in our next half hour. So it was interesting to me how long it takes to get a cookie from idea, from concept to you being able to eat it. 2 to 3 years, yeah. And they have to do all this market research. And she said that they'll even research what flavors are trending these days, what people like, and all this. So this new cookie is kind of a brownie. It's based on a brownie concept, but it's not soft, it's crunchy. So it's like a brownie with caramel and a hint of sea salt kind of thing. So we're gonna be tasting that.
Can't wait to dive into that.
You know, I always bring it back to food somehow.
I'll probably eat more than one. I'm just gonna guess.
With those, I have no self-control. I'll
Really?
eat a whole row. It's pretty bad. I have
hard not
to
to.
kind of hide the box from me.
From yourself.
For myself.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you
Those are
freeze
so
your
good.
Thin Mints? Or
Yes.
Stacy does. We were just
I like
talking
that
about
too.
that.
You don't?
I mean, I have, but I usually don't freeze them.
So one of our producers, Callie, came up to us today and said that she likes to take the shortbread cookies and dip it in hot tea and eat them that way, and that
I
sounded.
can see that
really
being a thing.
good.
I like
like
the
that.
Samoas. Those are so good.
Yeah.
Those
Those are
are
really
like a
good,
guilty
yeah.
pleasure.
That's probably my favorite. But I like shortbread too. See, now I'm excited because they're right over there. and
I know,
you
I
can't eat
keep
them yet.
eyeing
And you
them.
have, what
I
is
got
that?
some
Got a
others,
couple
too.
of boxes over there.
Yep, I got some lemonades and some other things too. But we'll,
So
you
you
get some
mean like we
Do-si-dos?
each
Check
get
it
a
out.
box, right?
yeah, yeah, of course. Did
you get the tag along?
No, I think it's Thin Mints, lemon, whatever that is,
Lemonades.
and oh look, he's got
there we go.
He
what is
found
that?
them.
Oh, shortbread. Thin Mint shortbread,
Okay.
lemonades, and then the new flavor. The new flavor is called Adventurefuls. And
That's cute.
We'll be tasting that coming up in just a minute.
I
Stick
see a
around.
row for each of us.
That works.
I see a box for each of us. The saying goes that it's the little things that count. Every Friday, we like to take a moment to appreciate those little things in life. So let's hand it over to WFMY News 2's Megan Malaris, who tells us about the good happening in your life.
So I know you're busy multitasking right now, getting home from work, fixing supper, planning your weekend and the upcoming holidays. But if you can take just the next 2 minutes for a little reflection, it will do your mind a world of good. I asked you on my Facebook page, Megan Malaris News, to tell me something good, big or small, that happened in your life recently. Penny's grandson took his first steps. Bill had the day off, so he didn't have to work in the cold rain earlier this week. Rhonda welcomed a precious litter of puppies who are so much fun. Brittany got a promotion. Scott's daughter made the dean's list at App State this semester. Linda welcomed a new granddaughter born this week. Sandra has a new great-grandson. Aretha got all of her vaccines. Stephanie got all of her student loans paid in full. She's debt-free. And while working as a part-time employee, Patricia received a very unexpected cash bonus for Christmas.
Student loans paid off.
Yeah,
that
that'll
stuck
work.
out to me.
That's a
Lucky
big
lady.
one. Should we go down the line? Lauren said, I don't know what
I
to
said,
say.
I don't know. I was trying to think, I'm just blessed to be alive, blessed to see another
That
day.
works.
I made it to Friday, so that is my good news for the week.
Yeah.
My news is that tonight I have nothing to do.
Isn't that the
place
best
to go.
feeling?
Isn't that funny? The older you get, the more you appreciate when there's nothing on the calendar.
For
Even my
now.
kids. Now my wife's going out with some friends, so I've got the kids at home, but they're at a good age now. But it's like, I'm just like, whew, nowhere to go.
That's nice. So I've had a really kind of rough day, but as soon as it was like time for the show, we first tricked our director, Brad. He loved it, I'm sure. But then we've just been having so much fun, I feel like, today. We've been gaggling, laughing and giggling. Those two words.
That's both,
combined.
yes.
Yeah. And so I just appreciate you guys for making my day better.
Every time we pick on Brad, it's not tell me something good, it's tell me something great. That was great to get Brad.
It was good.
He gets us all the time.
Yeah.
We have videos of past pranks that, I don't know, we might be able to.
Oh, yeah. We could put them up in the screen.
Dig those up. Yes.
Sure, he'd love that.
Let's take a break before Brad turns us off. We'll be right back.
There he is.
There he is. Hey, Brad.
Oh, Brad.
We got you good.
Hi, mic check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Mic check. We're all good. Am I good?
Hey there, Alabama, Alaska, Arizona, Arkansas, California, Colorado.
Hey, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Stacey Spivey with Lauren Coleman and Eric Chilton.
Yeah, we're having a lot of fun on this Friday afternoon. Welcome if you're watching at home on Fire Stick, Roku, and the WFNY News 2 app. Well, it's a huge night in sports for our Greensboro High School football team. The Dudley High School Panthers are on the prowl for the state football championship.
If the team wins, it will be the school's 7th state title. WFNY News 2's Amanda Ferguson joins us live from Chapel Hill. The last time the Panthers won a state title was in 2016, so this is a big night, Amanda.
Dudley has won 6 state championship titles. Head coach Stephen Davis has won 4 of them, but if he can win tonight, he says this one would mean more because of the player on his team.
There's no doubt championships are special.
We haven't been there since 2016, so it definitely feels good to get back.
But this year, Dudley's head coach Stephen Davis could win a title with his son on the roster. Stephen Davis II, better known as Deuce.
He's been on the sideline for the other ones, you know, that's a ball boy, that's a little boy, but for him to be playing this year, it would be very special for me.
Coach says he doesn't treat him any different than the rest of the guys.
At home, I'm dad. On the field, I'm coach. I tell him you got to work for everything you get.
He's one of the best dads I think I could have.
Come Friday night, the two hope to leave Chapel Hill with a championship.
I'm going to be proud both ways, being his coach, but, so proud of him as a father, just to watch him grow, and he's doing good in school.
It's really the perfect scenario for me. I think that's the best way I would go out my senior year.
Win or lose.
I'm just proud of him, and he knows that.
A lot of coaches coach their son, but how many of them get to coach them in the state championship game? It's just a perfect scenario, and the only way it could get better is if Dudley comes out with a win tonight. We'll see what happens. Dudley will take on J.H. Rose coming up at 7 tonight, right here inside Keenan Stadium in Chapel Hill.
You gotta love, I love sports stories when the father's the coach and the son's on the team, and there have been several. I think more about basketball because I'm a big basketball fan, but I remember when Georgia State was in NCAA tournament and the coach's son hit a winning three-pointer. I've seen that in basketball a few times, and the coaches just beam, and it's their kid.
Yeah, and it's just a unique bond. I believe A&T on the track team, the son was the track star and the father was the coach. Remember we covered that story?
Yeah, I think I do remember.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, obviously going to a state championship game is incredible, but the fact that you get to coach your son or your dad is your coach and then to win it would be just icing on the cake.
And these guys, they worked really hard this year because didn't they have that back-to-back season, like they played in the spring and then they also did this. So that's a lot of work on their body. So hopefully, they do what they need to do this weekend to win.
It's always exciting when a Triad team makes it there because you play in a big Division I arena, in Keenan Stadium, and that's exciting. And then you add to that the fact that, what did they say, six state championships? Six of them? That's incredible.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll have another one.
Big deal. Yeah. And of course, Amanda will keep you updated later tonight. Well, we want you to check this out. If you like looking at other people's Christmas decorations, visit downtown Greensboro. Businesses are participating in the holiday window decorating contest now through the end of the month. And you get to choose who has the best display. Once you've checked out all the decorations, you can visit the city's website to cast your vote for the best decorated window. And don't worry, we're going to link you to that voting page on our website.
I looked at some of these today because Sean, who went out and took some images, showed me one of them, and I can't remember the business, but they have two windows, and they did each in a holiday movie theme. So one was A Christmas Story, and one was Elf, and they were hilarious.
I think it was Vintage by Vogue, I went online and looked. Some of them were really, really nice. The Biltmore Hotel had a really nice one too that I saw.
Yeah, this one seems like it's very intricate. The detailing it looks really neat. I'm gonna have to go drive down there to see everything.
Yeah, I want to see this. I love when they do this.
And I think it'll just bring more people into the store because you'll see something like, oh, that looks cool. Let me check out and see what they have.
Pick one of those marshmallows off.
Yeah.
Just keep going.
Don't do that.
Just like while I'm shopping, a little snack. What's wrong with that?
Oh man.
I always bring.
Hey, Chad Silver here, joining the 4 to 5 team for a minute. It was a big night for me last night. I went to a show at the Tanger Center for the first time. On top of that, it was my very first Broadway show. Of course, I had to take pictures of my experience, and it was awesome. Just seeing the Tanger Center building lit up in the night sky looked really cool. And to think this building sat empty for a year and a half. It was finished just before the pandemic hit. When you first walk into the lobby, your eyes are drawn to the incredible sight above your head, an art display that reflects the light as the pieces turn. I didn't actually know this until last night, but there's actually a patio area on the second floor that overlooks LeBauer Park and that bright pink artwork that hangs over it. Back inside, the main event is too spectacular to capture in photos. I went all the way up to the top to take it all in. And then I went to the other side, and I think this video really helps illustrate the size of the stage, the seating area, really all of it. There are basically 3 levels, and even when we were in the far back, the seats weren't that bad. The red seat cushions and the sound bars above really make that video pop too. It was awe-inspiring once I finally got to see it for the first time. Then I made it to my seat. This is where I sat. It was on the first level, about halfway back, so pretty good. And what's the show at the Tanger Center if you don't take a photo of the playbill with the stage in the background? Unfortunately, they don't let you take pictures during the show, so I got a picture of the stage before it started. But just know, it was incredible. I told you guys yesterday that that I'd never been to a Broadway show, and I mean, it was really cool to see. I know that you all were excited to hear about it. And first of all, the Tanger Center is just awesome. It's incredible. The acoustics sounded great, and I think the thing that surprised me the most was how talented everybody is. I mean, top notch.
I'm shocked that this is your first Broadway show.
Me
Chad
too.
Silber.
I
What
am
am I
too.
gonna do?
Yeah, I don't know, but it was really neat.
But
to
it is
see.
performance at a different level, though, isn't it?
Absolutely. And you know, this show, if you're planning to go see it, is kind of heavy. I mean, they tackle the idea of suicide and what goes along with that at the high school level. So, I mean, it's a heavy show. I didn't cry, but there were a lot of people around me who had the Kleenexes on standby because it's kind of sad at some parts, but it was a great show.
So, go ahead, Lauren.
So Chad, since this was your first Broadway show, do you think you're going to make this like a regular tradition? Maybe get like season tickets or
Yes,
something like that?
I think so. I don't know about season tickets. I can't afford that. But no, I definitely plan to go back again.
And I want to know what your favorite part about the whole experience was.
So I think I got the chills every single time that they were kind of in the middle of a song. I mean, the music and the acoustics in there are so powerful. It just kind of encompasses the whole area. And I really got chills every time because they were just so good and so talented that it was just incredible to see in person.
That's a level of skill.
You had a great experience.
Yeah, it's so good. It's called the Constellation system, the one that they have in there, the sound system there, deals with sound waves and not so much speakers. So there are speakers and I guess you can't even call them speakers, hidden in the walls all over. And
you really feel it.
You feel it, yeah. And so it's a whole different experience that most of us have never had. It's one of the best in the world, by the way, not just regionally.
And it's in our town, guys. We don't have to go to Durham anymore to go see a show. I mean, it's here.
No more DPAC.
Right.
We can stay right here. Yep. All right, let's talk about our forecast and see what's happening with that. Looking at temperatures going through a big change in the next 24 hours or so. I mean, big changes for us. Take a look at these readings, and 54 in the Triad, 58 in Raleigh, 55 Fayetteville, Charlotte, 52. And you can see Greenville, South Carolina is at 52, but it jumps to 62 in Asheville. Don't see that very often. Hour by hour tonight, hanging in the 50s, right? We kind of stay there. That's not that normal for us, but the blanket of clouds over us is just kind of holding that heat in that the earth absorbs from the sun during the day. So our overnight lows are really mild. And ahead of the next system, we see those temperatures jump up to 70 degrees for your Saturday. Now that sounds good, but the bad part of that is that there is a front approaching with some pretty heavy rain with it. It won't last all day. This is an evening thing, right? So maybe 4 to 6 p.m. it'll start and that front will scoot through. But behind that, big changes in temperature. So here's what it looks like. Warm and windy for your Saturday. Get ready for those winds too. They'll gust up to 20 plus. And then that cold front moving through in that evening time period should be finished by the overnight. And then high pressure will move in, and that makes us a little bit chilly. How about going from 70 tomorrow to 51 on Sunday? By the way, chance of a storm tomorrow with that temperature so high, up to 70. Then sunny next week. Boy, what a great week. All sunshine, fairly dry, 55 on Monday, and then we see temperatures start to push back up again. You're looking at 62 and 64 for Tuesday and Wednesday, and then when we get to Thursday, Friday, it's nice. That's way above normal. 53 is the normal high. We're at 67 and 68 for Thursday and Friday. All right, so I don't know about you, but manners are pretty important around my house. And I asked you on Facebook, what do you think, what manners have really fallen by the wayside and what do we need to bring back? Boy, people went off on this one. Cindy said, saying Mr. and or Mrs., saying please and thank you, opening doors for people, offering help to others. Janet says, just simply greeting people by saying hello. She said, I see it happen so frequently that younger adults and teenagers don't speak when they enter the room. Joyce Davidson said, men taking their hats off at the table. I guess we could say everyone taking their hats off. Sandra says, please and thank you. Smile when someone speaks to you, using sir and ma'am. And yes, table manners are big. Anna Beckman says, pulling over for funeral processions. That's true. I remember doing that. Robert says, respect for the elderly, he thinks, has fallen by the wayside. Anne Marie says, handwritten thank you notes. And our own meteorologist, Tim Buckley, said, don't show up to somebody's house if you're a guest empty-handed. My wife says that all the time. Never show up empty-handed. If it's a party situation, if you're popping in on somebody, I get it. But if it's a more, an entertaining setting,
yeah,
you got to
bring
bring
something. Okay, I have the biggest pet peeve when it comes to airplanes and when you get off the plane, how that works. I understand if you're in a rush, you need to get to the beginning. But otherwise, it should be like whenever you're in church and you go for communion. You go row by row, okay? It starts from the top of the plane. That row gets up and goes, and then the next row, and the next row, the next row, and you wait on the people in front of you to go before you go.
Yeah.
But some people don't know that, and it drives me nuts. And my husband's like, Stacy, calm down. I'm like, no, you need to like wait, because it's like people like 5 rows behind me are rushing and pushing in my way,
and then you
to
can't
get to the
get
front.
out because they're already in that
And
line.
then they just
everybody's
like keep
just
going.
like-
I'm like,
just chaos.
it's gonna take a while to get off this plane. Just wait a minute, have some patience. If you're rushing, you know, I get it, whatever, but oh, it makes me so mad.
A big one for me is, so when I was growing up, my parents always say, you say yes ma'am, yes sir, or yes. We couldn't say what. So when I'm out and about and I hear younger people go what to their mom and dad,
No
I'm kind of
way.
looking like, that's acceptable?
Yeah.
That was like a big no-no in our household.
My
It's
line
me.
when my kids say yeah or what or whatever, I go, you better back that down. And then that's when he said, oh, I'm sorry, I mean,
Yeah. I used to say, hey, and my dad would be like, hey is for horses.
Yeah. I've heard that.
Yeah, we weren't allowed to say stupid or shut up or
Yes,
anything like
that's
that.
right.
It was very, had to watch your words
That's
and your
true.
manners.
Very true. Quick airplane note, you reminded me of this. Back in the day, this airline's no longer in existence, but AirTran used to do this thing where they would have people take the pillow that was there and pass it back all the way back to the back of the airplane. Both sides were in a race, and the side that got the pillow all the way back up got to deplane first.
Oh, really?
That was so
That's
much
pretty
fun.
cool.
Yeah, we need to bring that back.
Yeah, sounds like a good idea. Well, moving along, if you have ever felt a part of your life is lacking something, it is a life situation that seems unbearable, but it can be changed, and that change begins in the mind. Today on U Day, Coach Lamont explains how it works.
I have known many people who have grown up with lack. For some, the world of not enough or just getting by is all too real. If I'm talking to you, just know that you don't have to remain there. You can change your circumstances by first changing your mindset. Now, changing your mindset is not an overnight event. It does take time and patience, but you must be willing to endure. Now, if this is not you that I'm talking to, it is important that you are not judgmental of those who have less. We all at some point have walked through something. However, the key word that I just said is walking through. There is no time to get stuck in life, and you have the power to change it. So do what is necessary today to do that. Change it. This is Coach Lamont. Make today your best U Day. I'll see you tomorrow.
So if you watch this show for any length of time, you know that everybody makes fun of me because at some point I bring it back to food somehow, and we've done it again because Girl Scouts have come out with their brand new cookie flavor that debuts this year. You can't even buy this yet, right? The sales, even online sales, don't start until the 21st of December.
So we're special.
I mean,
I know,
yeah.
we get a little taste here. Yeah, there's the countdown. Look at that, countdown to Adventurefuls. That's what they're calling them. They're one. Well, we're about to find out how wonderful they are. But they're kind of a mix of brownies and caramel and sea salt. And they showed us here just kind of the old standbys: the shortbread, Thin Mints, and lemonade.
Oh, let me turn one around so you can
Yeah,
see
we
them
can-
a little bit. Whoops, sorry.
That's all right.
There, now you can see them.
Aren't they beautiful?
They are. So we were talking about before we taste this. So Girl Scout, I didn't know this until you guys just said this during the break. They're called different things in different parts of the country. Is that right? They have different names
That's
for
what
them,
it
you
sounds
think?
like. So I'm pretty sure that I called like the peanut butter, they were like wrapped in chocolate. I called them tagalongs growing up, but I think my husband called them something different, like peanut butter patties or peanut butter patties.
yeah,
That's
that's
what our
right.
producer just
That's
said.
it. Our
Yeah,
produ-
I always call them tagalongs.
So I'm gonna take turns. I'll let you guys have a bite because then nobody can talk if we're all sitting there.
Yeah, that's true. So one thing about the Thin Mints, I want to know, do you guys put them in the freezer?
I do.
I have not done that.
You should try it.
I should try
I don't
that.
know what
then.
it is. Like somebody told
Right,
me to
I'll
do it, and I liked it.
All right.
Oh, this reminds me of another cookie.
So I thought the caramel part was going to be gooey.
No, it's crunchy. The whole thing's crunchy.
This is delicious.
That's really, really
okay,
good.
yeah, this is like on
See,
my list.
I'm about to eat the whole row. That's why you have to keep them away from
If you
me.
eat the row that way, it's only 5 cookies.
I mean, I feel really special right now that and I just got the like hint of sea salt.
All right, I'm about to be a little greedy and get another one.
So now we can't talk. We have our mouth full. So we'll take a break so we can eat all these, and we'll be right back.
The clock is ticking. Christmas is just 15 days away. Where are you with your holiday shopping? I know I have a lot to do, and it looks like some of you are in the same boat. Annette Pegler says, I've bought 2 gifts. That's really slow for me. I like to have wrapping done more than a week before. Robert Sternberg wrote, I'll just head to the gift card kiosk at Kroger at some point, and I'll be done. It'll take about 5 minutes. Rue Green says, everything is bought, but not all have been received. Angela Douglas says, done, just waiting on deliveries. And then Latricia Rayford wrote, yikes.
Latricia,
Kind of with Latricia a little bit.
It's a shock when you hear 15. I was something about once you get under 20, it feels like it's the day after tomorrow. So I have 5 people in my immediate family to buy for, and 3 are completed, and 2 I only have a couple more things to buy, but I have wrapped nothing.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. My dad's usually a last minute shopper, and I remember always wrapping my mom's gifts from him and from me and my brother, like Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
My dad's a last minute shopper too.
Is it a bad thing?
It's bad. He'll be like, so what
is.
was it that your mom wanted? Send me a picture of that purse like 2 days before, and we're like, we've been telling you this.
When I was younger, I was the worst. I was literally a Christmas Eve shop and wrap kind of person when I was in my 20s, I remember, but I had to change as I got older.
So this is something I'll grow out of.
Probably. Well, just because once you have a family and everything, you have to do it early,
Yeah.
you know?
That's true. All right, let us know on Facebook. Have you bought your
Winter
Christmas
Fest.
gifts? Perfect. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It's not too like rich. It was great.
Well, if it's my
Hi there, Alabama, Alaska, Arizona, Arkansas, California.
You are dying to try one of these Girl Scout cookies. Callie, I know you are dying.
Hello, mic check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Mic check, mic check.
Hey there, mic check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Hey there, I'm just hooking everything up. Should be good to go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3.
So it's time for my 2 cents, and it's Friday. Everybody says, woohoo, Friday, fun day, weekend's here, all that. Well, I looked into this. Psychology Today had a pretty cool article, and they call it the weekend effect. And that's why Friday has a personality to it, and Monday has the opposite personality, which really starts on Sunday night, right? We get that feeling of dread, some people do. And so I looked into this, and they say there are 3 ways to have what they call high well-being at your job. So number 1 would be competent. We all want to feel competent at our jobs, right? That makes sense. Number 2 is the autonomy, or some degree of autonomy, to decide what you do, how you do it, and when you do things. Maybe not the entire day, but most of it. And then 3 is meaningful work relationships. Those are the 3 things that Psychology Today in this article said most people need to feel good about their jobs and reduce stress and anxiety. So interesting, they say this applied to all jobs, regardless of how much people made, how much they worked, how old they were, even how educated they are. Kind of funny, it's across the board, right? So the answers to this, they said competency. Obviously, if you don't feel competent in your job, you're going to need some changes. So they say maybe look into some training, or